Hello, my name is Holly, and I'm the founder of Solo Date Challenge, where we empower women to learn to love themselves through intentional and unapologetic solo dating, no matter their relationship status. And today, and you're listening to the Solo Date Challenge podcast, but this is a special episode. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm a part of an awesome book launch that's happening today, and it's called I Am: A How to Release the Shame of Narcissistic Abuse and Transform Financial Poverty to Wealth Beyond Numbers. And I'm a part of a 14-person collaboration of this book. And what we've done is we've actually joined up with an organization called Safe House National. And all the proceeds of the Kindle book version for the first day will be going towards this beautiful organization. And so I have Eliza here today that's going to share a little bit about their organization. And I'll tell you what, once I found out we were going to link up with them, I was so excited. So I can't wait for you to hear all of what she has to share, and how I just believe that no matter what we go through in life, if we've overcome that pain and we've figured out how to we owe it to others to show people the path on how they can get their own healing and recovery. And so I believe that she has a similar mission. And so I can't wait to get to know you a little bit more. Eliza, welcome, and share a little bit about who you are, what made you get to this place, and a little bit about Safe House.
Hi, thank you so much, Holly, for the introduction. I'm so excited for your book launch. My name is Eliza Conley-Lepene. I'm the founder of Safe House. And after an abusive relationship and getting out and going through all the healing process, part of that for me was getting my bachelor's degree in justice. And I got a minor in advocacy and psychology. And it was one of those things where I felt like a lot of people were saying, you're not going to get the justice you want to see. And for me, it was, actually getting the degree that says justice on it. I felt like I had some form of justice that I was carrying around. So it was just a really good feeling. But part of that process is I ended up taking an advocacy class, and my professor said, I want you to take a problem that you see, and then I want you to fix it and tell me how you're going to fix it. And for me, I already knew the problem. I already had this problem and I didn't really know how to fix it. And so in that moment, it gave me the opportunity to say, what could I do to make this situation better? How can I help women get out faster? Because a lot of people do ask, why don't women get out? Well, after becoming a survivor of violence, I figured it out. And so it became my mission to not say, why don't they get out? To start asking the question, how can we get them out? And so I really want to transform that statement and have more people say, what can I do to help you get out? And that's when I decided to make an app and consolidate all the crisis response services into one platform. So that way, no matter what the crisis is, you really don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. You don't have to do a whole lot of research, which is time consuming. So then once graduation hit or came, I founded Safe House, and the app is sort of our platform.
That's awesome. Oh, I got chills listening to you. What a beautiful story. It really is that we use what we've gone through in life, and then how can we solve this solution for somebody else? And what a beautiful idea. And I love how you were inspired to start it. Something else that you mentioned, that sometimes you don't know where to start when you're in crisis, and when somebody's in trauma. Not everybody's is aware of this, but your brain does not work in the way that it normally would have even beforehand. So to have access to what you're talking about can really make a huge shift for people, to be able to go to one place and be able to find out what they need and get out of that overwhelm. So that's beautiful. Thank you. So can you tell me a little bit about Safe House in general? Do you all do anything outside of the app, or is that your main primary thing that you're doing right now?
So that's the main primary thing that we're doing. We're working on our national platform. We had started with Maine. So the first thing I did was the prototype, which I thought was going to be a prototype just for Maine. And my vision at the time was to just show someone this app that I created and have it look really good for my essay. And then I said, maybe I'll show it to someone and they'll take over. And I learned really quickly that I was the someone that was supposed to do it. So we did Maine and we started to do other states, and then we sort of crashed the platform that we were using, and we needed to get a higher caliber type of program. So we've been working on that, and we have our volunteers that are working sort of endlessly to do some data collection to get this national platform that we're hoping to release very shortly here.
Awesome. So are you going to be trying to get it? So it sounds like it's in Maine right now, but you're trying to get it in all 50 states. Is that where you're going with it?
We have, if you go to safehousenational.org, you'll see a few different states that we had collected on and got updated. There's Maine, there's New York, I believe there's Rhode Island, possibly some Tennessee and Florida. So we were sort of had different volunteers picking states and collecting and putting the information in. And like I said, there was a definite issue that occurred. I had done a lot of recruiting. We did a lot of training and got everybody up to date, and everybody got in, and it just overloaded the system. So we needed something, like I said, a higher caliber that could handle the level of work that we were willing to put in and willing to do. So we recently found the new program. We have someone that is diligently coding and recruiting others to code in the back end of things to help us get this app up. We're thinking that the coding will be complete by May 1st. And I'm thinking that we will have this completely finalized and definitely launched by our second birthday, which will be May 30th.
Wow, what a beautiful disaster. The having so much data, so much information that you overloaded your system and you had to level up. I mean, that just shows you how much information is out there available and how much it takes to actually put it all in one place. And so that is amazing what you guys are doing, and it gives me chills. And thank you for letting us know when the app's going to launch. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because not only is it they have to do all of this background information, it takes money, it takes funds in order to get the legal side of it, to get the app up and running. And so that's why we have partnered up with them with our book to be able to do that. But I also know that you have other ways for people to volunteer, or I know you have other organizations that partner with you guys. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about what the funds might go to and how somebody might be able to help this organization.
Thank you so much for asking that. Right now we have a few different consultants. So when COVID hit, we decided we couldn't do anything outside, we couldn't get people to come in. So what we could do was utilize the virtual platform. And we wanted to give back to the people that were home, that were sort of, they couldn't do their direct sales, or they needed more of a platform. So we've sort of recruited direct sale consultants to help us fundraise. And we've done an annual Pampered Chef, and we've done an annual Sensi, and we're going to continue to do those things as long as the demand and the requests are still there. Someone did ask us prior to our Pampered Chef second annual, when is she coming on? When is she coming on? I want to buy my Pampered Chef because I know it's going to go to Safe House. So there are people that are supporting us that know exactly what we're doing. What the funds are going to go to is, right now we're in the patent process. We filed our provisional patent, so we are patent pending. We filed our non-provisional patent, and we are going through the process. We need $3,600 more for our attorney to finalize that for another response. And so that's where the money is going to next. We have incorporated in Tennessee and in Colorado for our national recognition. So the funds were going to that as well. So we're working on national recognition, working on the legal aspect, working on the office, the office supplies, like the website. So we just had to pay for our website dues and the domains that we're using, etc. So that's where the money is going to.
Yeah, there's a lot to get something launched. A lot of people don't realize, and And what the impact this will make in so many people's lives is insurmountable. And so for that little amount of funds, so if somebody's listening and you just happen to have that in your bank account and truly believe that this is, send this to them, let them know. Or if you're somebody that is, sells Pampered Chef, or well, maybe not Pampered Chef, sounds like they've got somebody, but some of those others, I know a lot of those companies match your donation. So if you're an independent rep and you just want to do a show for yourself and having the proceeds connect, all these things matter. Those little things we can all do together. Like you kind of mentioned, you're like, who's going to take it? Who's going to take this on? And you're like, oh, humbly me. We're called to these things. Our pain is our purpose oftentimes, and we're being called to do this. And I don't know what your religious background is, but sometimes I hear God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called. And it sounds like he's equipping you. And what a beautiful story. What a beautiful journey. And I did want to dig just a couple more things about the app. Could you touch on maybe some of the crises that you guys focus on that might help? Because it's not just domestic violence, it also covers a lot of other crises. And then also where you hope the app will be, what platforms you hope it'll be on.
So right now it's a web download and you add it to your home screen. So if you go to safehousenational.org, that's where you're going to find the app. It is an add to home screen. And we did that originally just for privacy protection. And that's where my feeling was. At this point, we're working on getting it on Google Play and iTunes. And we're just going to make sure that you know to change your password often. We're going to make sure that you know to go in and make sure you're the only device in your account, so that way your safety is secured. But we also are covering not just domestic violence, but sexual violence, suicide, human trafficking, pro bono attorney, legal, free legal, and we have a 911 button right in the middle to make it a lot easier for you to get to 911. So less steps and an automatic dial. We have a second app, and we're sort of toying whether or not we're going to make them consolidated. It's a recovery app. The recovery app is to get people into, detox centers, get them the counseling they need when they're ready. The last thing, as you were saying, is people aren't thinking cognitively when they're in trouble. When you're in trouble, when you're in crisis, actually diminishes your cognition. And making it so easy for them to get the resources allows them to not have to think about it. It creates an ease. It creates this just click to dial, and that's it. What our volunteers are finding is that every state is structured differently. So they're finding that it is hard to find the resources, that they have to sort of dig around to find them, which we're doing all that legwork for everybody else.
Yeah, they have different terms, like sex abuse would be something different than, so someone that even could be in full capacity that are doing this for their job right now to volunteer are finding it difficult to find these resources. So that is lovely that you guys are bringing that to everybody. And I love that you pointed out recovery after. So, this app helps triage. When you're in that crisis, it gets you connected to those resources. And one of my top core values is connection. I want to connect people to their next step. And that's what you guys are doing. And then now, once you've done that, you're looking for the next step of like, okay, we got you through the crisis. Now, what can we do to get you to your recovery? And I'm a part of a program called 12-Step Spiritual Recovery, and we focus on recovery for all people, no matter what their issue is. And so all of what you're sharing lines up with what my values are and how, I believe I'm a person that is also a survivor of domestic violence and abuse, but I'm also in 11 years in recovery myself. And I definitely see the value in the triage, but not just leaving them hanging, because then what? Like, we want you to go live an abundant life. And that's where this book comes in, where we have 14 authors that are sharing how we went through what we went through, but we're not going to leave you hanging there. We're going to give you tools to know how to overcome this and how to live a beautiful, abundant life. And we can have that. But when you're in crisis, you don't feel that's possible. But then when you get this opportunity to get the help you need right away, this ripple effect is just going to be beautiful. And The first time I got to talk to you, I was so excited. I think that this is just a beautiful journey, and I can't wait to see what you have coming up. And then, if someone would like to volunteer within your organization, do you all have any roles that someone might be able to do for that? Or is it really you're looking for financial investment right now?
We're always taking on volunteers, and basically when volunteers come to me, I usually ask them what their wheelhouse is. I really want someone to do and help in the way that they're sort of scoped out to do. Whatever your scope of practice is, I'm sure there's a need somewhere. So that's sort of what I do. If someone, we don't want someone that doesn't have experience in financials to be doing financials. We want people that are volunteering that have experience in financials to be there. So that's sort of how we're aligned and how we align people. The book is a true testament. Is we really wanted to uplift people, really want to empower people, and so this book and partnership allows us to offer that to people as we're trying to get them out. So it's like, if you're in crisis, you can use the app, and here's the book if you need a little bit of read during the, to empower you during the time that you're trying to get out and trying to get empowered.
Wonderful. Ah, so glad that you're here. Thank you for saying yes to you. Thank you for saying yes to this project and not stepping away when it probably got overwhelming. And thank you for everybody that is listening. And if you're looking to see where you can get plugged in, will you say your website again?
yoursaferplace.org.
yoursaferplace.org. And then if you're listening to this on April 21st or 22nd, please go out and buy the Kindle version of our book, I Am How to Release Shame After Narcissistic Abuse. And it's available on Kindle for $1.99 today. And all of the proceeds go to this beautiful charity of Safe House National and help get this app into the hands of all the people that need it. Eliza, thank you so very much for coming on today. I cannot wait to partner with you and see what else that we can do to collaborate. I know we mentioned retreats and all kinds of other wonderful things. I just think that this is just the beginning of a beautiful experience, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with next. So many blessings to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Holly.